Sorcery Contested Realm has a dust system on their boxes, and I want to talk about it. Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie, and I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today, I want to chat about Sorcery Contested Realm and the dust system that you may or may not know about. This is really cool. On the back of all their booster boxes, definitely on the back of Alpha, and I believe on the back of the beta boxes that you'll be able to get soon, they have a dust system, which is just a QR code that you scan off, and I have already redeemed mine. So this was not there originally. You scratch it off. It's like a little lottery ticket. And you go onto their website and you redeem it for what is dust. And I believe I got 100 dust for this booster box when I opened it. And that's really, really cool. And I think there's a lot of really cool things they can do with this dust system. So I want to give you guys some of my ideas and my thoughts that I think, looking at how innovative this idea is, where can they push it? And I would love to hear from you where you think they can go with it as well. So these are definitely on the back of all the Alpha boxes. If you have not ordered product, or if you're looking to get into Sorcery, I do have beta pre-orders up at gamegrove.gg if you're looking for product coming out in September. So here are some of the hopes I have for this innovative system. I think that it's really cool to see a game that is so everyone talks about how it's classical, right? Like the artwork is hand painted and it's intentional and it's old school magic. But I love the idea that they are also doing things to be innovative and doing things to change the culture and the systems around TCGs. And I think this is the building blocks. My opinion is that the dust system is the building blocks to a lot of those changes. So first off, I want to say that the dust rewards are not exclusive to a booster box. You're actually going to be able to get dust rewards by playing. They say that you'll be able to get dust rewards by playing at your local game store and events, and then in other ways that they haven't announced yet. And this brings me to the first suggestion or hope that they do with the dust system, and that is that I hope that they don't do any promo cards for stores. Like your Magic, you get the event cards, and Flesh and Blood has the armory kits, and there's all sorts of promos for all these games. Every single TCG has promos that they send to game stores, and inevitably what happens is that the bad stores, I'm going to go ahead and call them bad stores, they just sit on them, or they throw them on eBay, or they throw them on TCG Player or whatever, and they just sell the promos. They don't actually host events in the games. Meanwhile, stores that are actually hosting events and whatever, give them to their customers or whatever, and there's always just this feeling of, man, I wish the other stores wouldn't get those because we are doing good things with them. So I hope that Sorcery utilizes this dust system in order to remove the LGS from ever having to handle the promo cards. In other words, when you come to my store and play in my event, you're going to get dust, and then you can redeem that dust online for a promo card or whatever you want in their dust system. And I actually think, I don't know that this is the way that it's going to be, but I actually think that Sorcery should do different colored dust for the local game stores that are hosting events. So the dust that you get on the back of a booster box is a different dust than it is when you play at the local game store in your event. And then you have exclusive cards that you can only get by redeeming, green dust that is from playing at an LGS. I just think it would be a really cool way to incentivize local game stores, to incentivize you as a consumer to go to your local game store and be like, hey, you should host Sorcery events so that I can get green dust so that I can go and redeem it for these promo cards. And then it also then removes the ability for stores who are not actually hosting events to sell those promos on TCG Player and eBay, and it protects the integrity of those promo cards, and I think that's a huge, huge win. It also makes it more efficient for Sorcery to do that. Yeah, there's a lot of logistics behind setting up a website and the dust system, but supposedly they've already kind of done that. And it makes it so that they don't have to ship promos to the distribution hubs, and the distribution hubs don't have to ship promos to stores. And, they have, most of these games, they have lists that, the stores come off or go on these lists on, if they're hosting events or whatever. It just simplifies the process to, hey, if you host an event through our app, you get the dust and, automatically goes to the winner or the winners. And then it's easy to redeem and the promos get shipped directly. And they just need one distribution center kind of in each region. I don't know, maybe it's too much. I hope that's where they go with it. But let's go to the second thing. I hope that there is a extreme amount of community connection resolving around the dust system. I think the dust system is innovative and it's really cool to have the ability to do different rewards. It doesn't have to just be promo cards, but the rewards could be actually specific to different content creators or different things. So you could use your dust and use it as a reward for Rudy's in this project, right? Like Rudy's involved in Sorcery. What if you could use it to redeem for an exclusive Rudy themed playmat or something like that? Or like altar sleeves, if you're not familiar with altar sleeves, they're like inner sleeves that you put on, and you could have artists that are involved in the community or whatever do altar sleeves for Sorcery cards that could be redeemable for dust. You're actually interacting with those who are making content for the game and who are loving the game, or even maybe stores that are doing content for the game, and you can utilize that to help promote their channels and work with them to have redemptions for these dust things. I think that could be super, super cool. You could do work with companies like GameGenic, right? They make, they did the Professor's deck box. You could have specialty deck boxes and artwork things that are just specific to the dust system that utilize and work with people and companies in the community that love the game and want to be involved. I think it's a really cool process for that. And then you don't have to mass produce them as heavily as you would need to if you were doing a full-on product launch. They could be more limited run things, and the limited run could change over time. I think that could be really cool. Another one I thought of with this is like have a redemption for getting your cards graded at PSA. So you work with PSA and the team at Sorcery ends up paying for it, but you have a deal with PSA or whatever where you redeem your dust for the ability to send in some of your cards graded. And that's really cool because there are people who have never taken the plunge to do that kind of stuff, and this allows Sorcery to dab in some of those different things. All right, I've got two more. Number 3 is if they end up doing an online client. And listen, I am a physical TCG player. I don't really play any TCGs online. I'm not a fan of playing TCGs online. But I understand the value of a thing like Magic Arena and how it has helped the game grow. And if they do it in an appropriate way, I think it can be really, really good for both the consumers, both the local game stores, both the value of products and the collectors. I think doing an online client could go a long way. And if they do end up doing that, listen, my favorite board game is Scythe. And Scythe is a gorgeous game that has an amazing online client that is a lot of fun to play. And the artwork is beautiful, and they animate the artwork, and they do really, really cool things that are next level for a board game. If they end up doing that for a game like Sorcery, and you have the randomization, you can use this dust system to basically reward people for buying a box locally at their game store. They redeem the dust, code to be able to get a whole box or online in the cards. It's a really easy way, kind of like the Pokemon code card system. The negative there is that you have to redeem an entire box at a time. But I think it's still valuable. You could still get dust from other things, from playing the game locally and that kind of stuff. And it incentivizes people to buy the physical product and then engage in the game in a wider thing. You can't always go to your local game store and play in an event. The game stores are not always open. You can't always get your friends together to play a physical card game. Sometimes you just want to hop online and play a game in the comfort of your home. And I think that the dust system would be a really cool way of transitioning people who want to open product and enjoy opening product and rewarding them for shopping at their local game store by giving them some free stuff on the online game. And that's another way I think you could utilize the dust system. And then the last thing, and I think this is the thing I get the most excited for. With the dust system and the way that the codes are randomly generated, I think that they should do some randomization in the rewards. So every box you open, yes, should get you 100 dust. And that should be the standard. When you buy a box, you're going to get 100 dust. When you open it, you're going to earn your points. You're going to be saving up your points to redeem them for something. And you can kind of calculate how many more boxes you need to open or how many more events you need to win so that you can get that, that target thing that you want. But I hope that there are some randomized slots or whatever in the dust system where maybe there's 10 or 20 art pieces, the handmade art pieces, that 10 or 20 random codes from beta or alpha or whatever are then gifted. When you go to redeem that dust, it pops up and says, hey, you've won this amazing piece of artwork. What's your address? We'll ship it to you. Just ways of giving back to the community and all these things that TCGs accumulate, uncut sheets, different things that all these TCGs end up giving away as promo support or prize support or to content creators or to whatever. It's a way of giving it back to the end consumer in a randomized way that could be really exciting. You're thinking you're only getting 100 dust and you type it in and you get a really cool uncut sheet or this thing or that thing. And with the Kickstarter, a lot of people got that stuff early on. The early adapters of the game got that stuff early on. But when you look through, what are we going to do for Arthurian Legends? How are you going to, the artwork for that set, how are you going to distribute it to the community? What are some fun ways that you can give back to the community and allow them to get excited about this stuff? I think the dust system can really be utilized to do that and accomplish that. You know, another thing, like maybe you do a random winner gets a trip to New Zealand to go meet the company. Like that would be really cool for a fan of the game. If they don't want it, they could always, you know, give it up to somebody else and allow them to redeem it. Maybe it's tickets to Gen Con, right? Like if they decide that they're going to go to a Gen Con or a Collecticon or whatever, they could, you know, put up on their Twitter, hey, the next 50 people who open up, redeem a code from the dust system are going to get free tickets to Gen Con. Like that could be a really cool way to engage the community and allow people to have those rewards for kind of opening up boxes and engaging with the product. So I think that the dust system is super innovative, and I hope they push the bar. Like I see the way that this could just push the bar for TCGs super high in their engagement in the community. And I hope that they just blow through that bar and they continue to innovate and think of creative ways to utilize the system. I would love to know your ideas in the comment section. Let me know if I lost something. Let me know if you hate one of those ideas, if you're like, no, people shouldn't be given art. That's ridiculous. Like, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. I hope you have yourself a great day. Remember, if you're looking to order beta, if you're looking to secure some of that for the September release, I'm about 50% sold out of beta already from my allocation, and I do plan on holding some of that back for my locals in September. So we're probably about 50 to 65% sold out. So if you're looking to pre-order beta, make sure you head to gamegrove.gg. Other than that, I hope you have yourself a fantastic day. Be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you again next video.